Hey, Max here, and I got a hot topic. It might be the hottest topic in Star Wars right now. And it's about SJW and a feminist agenda in Star Wars. Does it exist? If you bring it up, are you racist or a male chauvinist? So we're going to talk about all of that. And I'd actually like to try to bridge some of the divide a little bit and see why people have such an issue with this in Star Wars The Last Jedi. But first, I gotta give the disclaimer. Warning! This video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and a Mad Max. So, let's get on to it, shall we? And this also may include spoilers for The Last Jedi. So, and I have some updates about what's going on with Solo the Last. Well, not when the official trailer is gonna debut, but some interesting Star Wars Solo movie news about China. And if you think there's not an issue, wait till you hear what they're calling Solo: A Star Wars Story in China. But first, Solo: A Star Wars Story, Episode 9 in the Rian Johson trilogy. Will they have an agenda that is incorporated ahead of good storytelling? And the major question I want to bring to you viewers, and I want to hear all your opinions. Maybe you disagree with me, but I think we should be able to talk about this issue without being dismissed on either side. I want to try to talk to everybody. If you bring up SJW and feminism, does it automatically make you a racist or a male chauvinist? Now that's a hot topic question. The failure of Star Wars, and this is where I'm going to get to this first because this is some news about Solo. The failure of Star Wars in China is so bad, they're not even including Star Wars in the title for when Solo is released in China. They are calling it Ranger Solo. If that doesn't give you a glimpse of how directionless this whole universe is, it's so bad in China right now. I mean, it was never that great, but they're not even going to include Star Wars in the title? Oh yeah, and some breaking news about Episode 9. Chewbacca is going to be a vegetarian. The porgs really affected him, guys. But recently, the reason this video exists, good old John Campea made a video that prompted this one. The thing that really upsets me when people talk in absolutes and make blanket statements about people in arguments without really discussing the issues. SJW and feminism is not just a black and white issue, and there are many shades of gray. There very well could be male chauvinists and racists that bring up SJW and feminism agenda. But just because you want to talk about it, it doesn't make you one. And I believe it's a cop-out. And vice versa, just because you have an agenda doesn't make you a real warrior for social justice. He even said in the video, stop bringing this up. Leave politics out of it. I literally facepalmed at this moment in the video. He actually proved the problem with the agenda and made a point against himself. If it fits the character, fine. Do whatever you want. But leave politics out of it. And I think that's one of the major things people have in issues with The Last Jedi. It's so obvious that there's things going on, and there's literal plot points that sidetrack more important story developments to have this whole sequence of agendas. Leave politics out of it. Congrats, you are SJW, and not the good kind. That's the kind of stuff in pushing agendas that gets people annoyed. You see, social justice warrior is almost seen as a sarcastic term. You could be from a place of privilege. You could be a social justice warrior. Don't believe you are really for true social justice. And I don't want to make a blanket statement about SJWs either, but in my opinion, lots of privileged people use the SJW movement and feminism movement to exploit it. For example, The Last Jedi, I think they use it to exploit minorities who have been waiting to see representation on screen and failed to create compelling characters, and then use marketing to spin bold new directions. This is the question you have to ask. If the agenda interfered with good storytelling, did new characters obstruct, limit development of original characters? A proper integration of new characters would be to complement the story and the journey of the original characters. Whereas the introduction of Holdo literally sidelines Leia's character. They put her in a coma. Princess Leia, one of the first great female characters in science fiction, treated poorly here with nothing to do. She is the one that needed true character progression in this trilogy, and fans and Carrie will forever have a giant missed opportunity for all the great scenes Leia could have had. A Han memorial service, or actually confronting her son about killing Han. And development of Rey and Luke is also where this story needs more time to develop. Instead, we have a 20 to 30 minute sequence of Rose explaining social justice issues to Finn and the audience like we are children. She treats Finn like he's a child, and us too. Here are all the issues brought up in the sequence. I'm sure if you really nitpick, you could find even more. War profiteering, child labor and slavery, animal rights. They even try to make Chewbacca a vegetarian in this movie. Now, you may laugh at that, but the whole sequence with him, would a Wookiee behave that way when he's hungry? I don't think so. And Captain Holdo is such a one-dimensional character that I believe she is a SJW or female chauvinist. She says, listen to me. I am right. Follow me blindly. This is the exact problem some SJWs may have with male chauvinists. Follow me because I'm a male and I know better than you. What weak character writing. So, yes, I think obviously this has an agenda. At the expense of OG characters. In an annoying way, Holdo's introduction is, look at me, center of the screen, and she is a one-note character. Listen to me, I know best. And another failure on Kathleen Kennedy's side in the story group, just like the reaction to The Force Awakens, how people said it was too safe. They make plot twists for plot twist's sake in The Last Jedi. Well, if they thought this was safe, let's make it completely different. You're missing the point. We want a good story. And the same point, I think they pushed the agenda. It was there in The Force Awakens, okay? But it was nowhere front and center like in The Last Jedi. They didn't have a whole sequence. So, I think she abused her power within Lucasfilm to push it further when people were offended. Or people, not offended, that's the wrong word. When people noticed it in The Force Awakens, they went overboard in The Last Jedi at the expense of the story. Again, personally, if you make it work, it works. I don't think it worked here, and I want to hear your opinions. The problems with the SJW movement is not necessarily that there is one. It's that the characters usually come from the movement tend to be underdeveloped and come second to what they are. They are a female, a minority, or a gay character. I don't care what you are. I want to know about your character. A lot of times Hollywood will push these one-dimensional, forgettable characters because of marketing and trends. And in my opinion, this is why these characters create such division and outrage. I honestly think if you are for diversity in movies and TV, you should be also outraged by these characters. I think Kathleen Kennedy and her story group are exploiting the movement for monetary gain. This isn't true representation. They are shallow, underdeveloped characters to market diversity instead of doing the hard work and create unforgettable characters. Take all these new characters that were introduced in The Last Jedi. Are they unforgettable? Well, maybe in the wrong ways. Their action figures are sitting on store shelves for $1, and they're still there. Compelling, interesting characters do not sit on bargain bins. Kathleen was more interested in marketing diversity than actually creating it with timeless characters. I think this is a real issue that needs to be talked about, and is an epidemic in writers and story groups across film and television. They use it as a crutch. I think they use this in orientation, minorities, and female characters to artificially create depth, when in the reality, there is none to their character in this story. It's just a trend. They're just doing it. Make the character first, and then I don't care what you are. Now, I do have some questions for you guys. If someone brings up SJW and feminism in film and TV, are they automatically a racist or a male chauvinist? And if you are for diversity in film and TV, do you see trends to use characters to artificially create depth when there is none? Just using it for other purposes to exploit it. Can you see people of privilege exploit SJW and feminism movement for monetary gain? In my opinion, I think a lot of it, not all characters, but there's been a lot of this happening where they're just exploiting the movements for monetary purposes. Even if you are for or against SJW and feminism movement, can we admit there was one in at least The Last Jedi? And did it come at the expense of the original characters? And I think that's why there's such a more vocal outrage about this movie. Let's get on to some more pictures. Now this was done for humor, but it's not far off. That whole sequence. I mean, nothing else was done with Chewbacca except the porg sequences. What a shame. Here's a picture of all the instances where they really push behind the scenes, and it's explained to us like we're children. I don't like the way it treats the audience in these scenes. Or Finn. And I want to leave you with some Han Solo quotes. And this is where I think people are most concerned about the Solo movie and how the agenda could ruin the character. Because honestly, this character came from a different time. Should he be touched? I don't even know. I think lots of people said we didn't even ask for this film. Can they do him justice? Maybe this is why it's not working. They're so worried about how he's going to be portrayed in 2018, of what he's going to say. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with some Han Solo quotes and see if the film was released today as is, brand new film, would people be okay with these quotes? Okay, sorry, sweetheart. I haven't got anything else. Time for anything else. You see what he's alluding to there? Look, your worshipfulness, let's get one thing straight. I take orders from just one person, me. Now that's one I wish Poe could have told Holdo. That would have made the scene amazing. Han Solo, well, your worship, it looks like you managed to keep me here a while longer. And this is the sequence in Empire. In Han Solo, Princess Leia says, I had nothing to do with it. General Riken thinks it's dangerous for any ships to leave the system until they activated their energy shield. Han Solo, that's a good story. I think you can't bear a gorgeous guy to let a gorgeous guy like me out of your sight. Princess Leia, I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain. Chewbacca laughs. Han Solo, laugh it up, fuzzball. You didn't see us alone in the South Passage. She expressed her true feelings for me. Leia, what? She's annoyed. Why? You stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. Who's scruffy-looking? Must have hit pretty close to the mark to get her all riled up like that, huh, kid? Well, I guess you don't know anything about women yet. So, I don't think you could release it as is and keep the character. Sometimes, you know what, times change, but should we alter the characters based on the times? These are movies. Now this isn't the workplace, and I think an argument could be said there. I'm not 100% one way or the other. I think this is an important topic, though, and I want to know all your viewpoints on this. And this is where I say, do not be dismissive to people or opinions. We can all talk about this in an intelligent way, and just dismissing people's concerns is very dangerous. That's what I think. I think we should be able to talk about this in an intelligent way, no matter what side you're on. This is where I say, don't be silent now. Rant on, my friends. If you're not happy with the way things are going, we should talk about it. And I also want to say, you don't have to follow me anywhere. All I want from you is to join in the conversation, rate, comment below, and I'll see you on the next hot topic.